Hello Cancer and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at what you are dealing with in 2025, where your energy is at right now moving into the new year, and what you need to know and expect in 2026. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Cancer, we are going to jump on in. We're going to look at overall energy with oracle cards first for your 2025, your current energy, and then what you need to know and expect in 2026. The goal of this is to answer the question, what do you need to know in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? So let's first start with this past energy, this 2025 energy for you, Cancer. Your hard work is paying off with a fiery climax approaches. This was a year of hard work, really putting in the work. And I feel like maybe not, well, I feel like you were seeing results, but I also feel that you weren't seeing the results that you ultimately desire. I feel like the work that you put in 2025 is building up to something big in 2026. I don't know what it is yet. We will see. But I definitely feel that with the fiery climax approaches, I do feel like it's big. What does Cancer need to know about their current energy here? Believe in the impossible. It's time to release negativity. What is this? You're very close to achieving your goal. I feel like 2025 was working through a lot of negativity. I think that there's a lot of stress here, but I also feel that, I don't know what this is, but this feels big. Believe in the impossible. A fiery climax approaches. You're very close to achieving your goal. You're closer than you think to this. Even like where you're sitting right now, even if you're looking around going, I don't know how this is possible, you're closer than you think to some sort of goal or outcome. What does Cancer need to know moving forward? Okay, interesting. Nothing is yet set in stone. Prosperity lies ahead with a time for healing. This nothing is yet set in stone card isn't a negative energy at all. It's this reminder that you are the co-creator of your life, right? And that anything really is possible if you're willing to show up for it. And I feel like you've been really willing to show up for some sort of dream or goal or outcome here. And this feels like receiving that, as long as you continue to show up for it through the doubt and negativity and second guessing. Because yeah, confidence is your key to success. This is interesting. I don't know what this is talking about. I feel like since this is a collective reading, I'm probably not going to know, and it's not really for me to know, but this definitely feels like wish fulfillment. Big wish fulfillment. Long-awaited wish fulfillment, if you will. But there is a caveat to it, which is that this is a possibility, right? And this is why I don't focus on future predictions, but on what you need to know in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self, because you are the co-creator of your life. Nothing is certain, but it is possible as long as you show up for it in alignment with your divine guidance, which is what we're going to focus on in this reading. So that being said, let's look at the overall theme of this. This needs to be shuffled. What does Cancer need to know about the overall theme of this reading? trust. Trust with shift. Your trust is going to determine the shift, especially during times where it feels like things aren't working out, which I feel honestly is right now. I feel like you feel things aren't working out, but they are. You just don't see how yet. What this feels like is there's still room for self-sabotage. And I feel like Spirit is asking you to be very discerning about the way that you're showing up so that there isn't self-sabotage, especially in the midst of fear. Divine Masculine and then good fortune. The Divine Masculine is all about, this is your Divine Masculine energy, by the way. This is not somebody else. It's a reflection of what's going on within you. We all have Divine Feminine and Masculine energies within us. It has nothing to do with gender. But how you show up determines this good fortune, the energy that you embody. So, and then you have time here, which is all about divine timing. Divine timing isn't, a date and time on a calendar. It's when your energy is fully aligned with the very thing that you're trying to create. And I think that what you're needing to know is that your only job right now, you don't need to know when things are going to work out, what it's going to look like. You need to focus on the energy that you're embodying. The energy of choosing faith, of choosing trust, of choosing self-worth. That's what's going to lead to the shift here. That's what's going to lead to the shift toward good fortune. All right, let's see what we've got here. So let's look at this past energy here for you, Cancer. Let's look at what you guys have been dealing with in 2025. Sun in reverse, the Six of Cups, (2025) was about closing out a really major past life cycle. I think 2025 tested you a lot. I feel like it pushed you to points of, I can't do this anymore. I don't know how much more of this I can take, but I feel like you continue to show up despite those things. I think 2025 was a lot about, and honestly where your energy is at right now, is a lot about trusting the process. You're still very much in the middle of a journey. You have not reached the destination of this journey, which is a good thing. That means that there's still, this prosperity. It still exists in this future energy. Let me clarify. I want to clarify the Sun in reverse. The Emperor, which is the same as this Divine Masculine energy. And this is about ego. Ego is not to be demonized. Its primary goal is survival and to keep us in spaces that we're used to, which are past life cycles, where the energies of chasing, energies of continuing to choose things that don't choose us, energies of, burning out just to receive, financial security, whatever it is. These are karmic cycles and they can appear in so many different ways. And I feel like there's some sort of past life karmic cycle that you've been dealing with. And I think you've been dealing with it for a really long time. And 2026 feels like finally breaking out of this karmic cycle shifting into more prosperity and abundance. Interesting. All right. So where's Cancer's energy at right now? Believe in the impossible. It's time to release negativity. Right now is about letting go of outcomes. I think there might be some attachment to outcomes that's really getting in your way. That's in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. High Priestess. And the Hermit. With the Hierophant, okay. On the bottom. I feel like you felt stuck for a while. Stuck in like repeating cycles, in this repeating past life cycle. And I think that this past life cycle, it really pushed you, like I said, to kind of like certain like breaking points, if you will. And now I feel this is about divine redirection toward more abundance and prosperity. But the problem is there's still an attachment to this cycle. And the attachment to this cycle is blocking your ability to receive this prosperity. That's why you have nothing is yet set in stone. You have this opportunity to move into more abundance, more love, more security, but it requires you to trust the shift that's trying to take place. Trust the shift. That's what leads you to good fortune. So there is some sort of divine redirection that's taking place. I think that your intuition is really guiding you toward this redirection. However, I feel like your ego has been masquerading as intuition. Your ego is trying to draw you back here into this past life cycle where you've been stuck for so long. And I think that where you're at right now is trusting that. And that's why this change is so intense, because it's not just about all of a sudden things work out. This is an intentional decision that you make to move directions, to move focus, to shift focus, to shift paths, to shift energy, intention, I don't know. But that shift is what creates the good fortune and prosperity. The divine redirection and the divine shift here. What does Cancer need to know about this 2026 energy? Seven of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune. This was on the bottom. I'm not going to take this card, but I kind of see this as clarifying it. Redirecting investment. Where you're spending your time, your energy, your focus. This leads to the Wheel of Fortune. But the problem is this has to be chosen. Redirecting intention. And I don't know what that looks like for you. I want clarity on this. Okay, there you are. Queen of Cups. Seven of Wands. I like this. This is setting boundaries, standing tall in truth. What's the biggest shift here? And what's the biggest shift here? King of Pentacles with the Four of Swords in reverse. You've been so focused on some sort of material outcome. A specific person, a specific number in income, a specific job. And there's been a lot of trying to force this outcome, and your soul is really tired of not having what it is that it deserves. And this shift is in no longer forcing, but surrendering and allowing. And that opens up your energy to almost this like windfall. Yeah, but there's so much anxiety about this shift, Nine of Swords. There's a lot of anxiety about this shift because there's a lot of unknown. I think you've been so stuck in this cycle for so long that any other, I would say, reality is something that I think is really scary and overwhelming because you don't know what that means, what it looks like. There's no control or prediction there. But this divine shift, this divine redirection that I honestly feel has been taking place for a while. But there's been this avoidance of allowing it. So it's like you're like, it's almost like there's this awareness. Or it's like, yeah, things need to change. Or yeah, something's off. Or yeah, something needs to be different. But it's like, I don't want to deal with that because then this arises. This anxiety, the stress, about the future. Which is very human of you. That's very normal. But you've been so focused on material circumstances that you're missing the spiritual component of this, which is as above, so below, as within, so without. Because I feel like you've been feeling very unfulfilled, very not where you want to be, yet, and I say this with a lot of love and understanding, but yet staying in places that provide you with those same feelings. And this shift feels like opening yourself up to better and to more. It's very, and that's what this is, the Seven of Wands. It's very intentional. And then, it opens you up to all this good fortune. It's like there's so much more available to you, but you haven't been able to see what's available to you because you've been stuck in this cycle for so long. So that's interesting. 2026 brings opportunities for more abundance, but it does require you to shift focus, to shift where you're investing your time and your energy. And I feel like you already know, maybe that shift is already taking place. It's already happening. Maybe for some of you, you started the shift in 2025. Maybe for some of you, you're unaware of what that shift is, right? Everybody is on different, energy moves in your life differently compared to, your timeline and your life path. So this story can play out, in different ways. But I feel like this shift is necessary to get you where you want to go. That's why you have nothing as yet set in stone. There's so much abundance. You have prosperity lies ahead, you have good fortune, but you also have trust and shift, right? Trust the shift to lead to more abundance, to more prosperity, to more good fortune. Avoid the shift, stay where you're at. The shift will always be an option. The abundance and prosperity will always exist ahead of you, but you have the opportunity to claim it now. It just requires a shift. So in this extended reading, we're going to dive deeper into this, ultimately answering the question, what do you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? So trying to dive deeper into that advice, and then I've got an advice card to pull for you at the very end. Thank you so much, Cancer, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this helped and resonated with you in a way that you are needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Cancer.